Good evening, Go Mode fans. We have an exciting race for you tonight with between two and 0 runners here in this year's Go Mode Podcast Mentor Tournament. We have Eclectic here on the left, mentored by DDR Kirby, and Mr. Boogeyman on the right, mentored by Wackerly. Both mentors are actually former mentees, so that should be really cool to watch. Here in the booth with me is first-time commentator Zeph. Zeph, say hi to the people.
Hello.
All right, so we got some casual boots action going on. So Zeph, I'll ask, after doing 2 weeks of open, how does it feel to start with the go-go boots?
Casual boots definitely feels like a lot different compared to open, because you really have to prioritize your movement. And in open, if you get boots late, like you kind of end up forgetting them sometimes, and then like it just kind of happens. But during casual boots, you have boots the entire time, so doing good movement is pretty important to cut your time down a lot during runs.
Yeah, approximately how many times over the first 2 weeks did you hear use your boots? Is it over or under 50?
Probably under, if I can guess.
Oh, okay. You are a little better at using them than others. All right. So, speaking of boots, that green 20 that you just saw on the screen is the replacement item for the boots that start on your feet. So we would have gotten them right away in the seat anyway.
Yeah, early boots.
All right, so casual start means that you start with a sword, but you have to do the escape sequence in order to rescue Zelda in order to progress the game. I think it's a pretty cool sequence. We actually saw Zeph here do this a couple nights ago. Got a pretty solid time on it. How difficult was this to learn?
It's not too bad. You being my mentor actually gave me a really good rundown of it, and there's actually a really good tutorial. There's a couple tutorials for it, I think, that show how to do it. But I actually did end up having my best escape time during that race. I think it was a 5:18.
Yeah, you definitely turned some heads with that. I just want to take a moment to thank the 2 raids that have come in from Scottish Brave and Hostliostros, and Zelga. I missed Zelga too. So thank you everybody for all the raids. This should be a pretty exciting race.
Looks like Eclectic isn't doing pot strat and he's doing sword.
Yeah, so pot strats can be a little bit safer, but they are also a little bit slower. That's some of the trade-off that you have for that. But it's all about comfort. It's about if you do the one pot strat correctly, it can only lose about 15 frames or so, and if Mr. Boogeyman dies here, then it'll lose a lot more than that. Boogie,
Yeah.
no.
Missed the pot through.
Okay.
But he got it done. Not too bad of a hiccup, but it happens.
I need to stop commentating these races. It is not healthy for my heart.
Yeah, being an NMG runner, like you do a lot of like individual room practice, so but you don't start with boots and escape though.
No, you don't. And you also get a boomerang in NMG, so that kind of makes the one pot strat a little better, because it doesn't really matter that the key is all the way on the other side of the room.
Right.
Right, and we are moving the mantle successfully. Nobody forgot Zelda this time, so good job on that. That has not always been my experience when I was on comms. I have seen people run all the way to the shelf without Zelda and have to run all the way back.
Oh wow, I've yet to see that. I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah, you can get the chest without talking to Zelda. Ooh, so we got a fire rod early on here.
Yep.
So fire rod. So we do play on advanced logic, which means fire rod is if a dark room has a torch in it, it is in logic with the fire rod. But it has to be every room in that chain. So in the case of say Eastern Palace, if you do the dark rooms to go to the vanilla big key chest, they do not have torches, so they are locked by the lamp. But to go from the big chest to the Armos Knights, that dark room has torches in it, so that is put in logic by only the fire rod or the lamp, but it can be either one.
Right. And then you'll see that the players have the lamp right now during the escape sequence, but after this they won't have it anymore. So the fire
Yeah, so
rod will help in those dark rooms.
Yeah, that's something that we put in the randomizer just so like lamp isn't forced in the first like few chests. So we give you a free lamp cone. It persists all the time. So if you end up, I don't know, missing something in here on accident and you have to come back, that light cone will be there for you.
Yeah. I didn't catch Eclectic's escape time, but it seemed pretty good. I think it was around 5:20-ish.
Yeah, off to a hot start there. We also got a cape out of the sanctuary, so cape plus fighter sword. We're casting a side eye there at Castle Tower, but we're not quite at that point yet.
Yeah, but it's still definitely something to consider while you're doing your standard is it Sphere 0 or Sphere 1 checks?
People say different things.
Okay, so yeah, doing your standard like Sphere 0 checks, you'll probably be considering it, and then you'll consider how deep you want to go for your Sphere 1 checks before you do AGA, because you could gamble on seeing if you could get your Dark World access, or you could just, if you have like a couple checks left, just go do AGA and get into Dark World.
Yeah, and at a certain point it makes sense, right? Like, at a certain point, AGA 1 just becomes your best play, so you just kind of go do it. I saw Mr. Boogeyman throw a sign at a pickle, which was absolutely unnecessary, but I approve because it's a pickle. I hate pickles.
Yeah, I mean, he might be used to it from doing open to get the tree pull.
That's almost assuredly what it was, yes. But I love some wanton dancing pickle murder, so
yeah, that's fair.
Highly approve of that. Ooh, okay, so we got bombs on the crab, which will be nice because Eclectic only managed to find 3, but Boogie's gonna have a little bit more.
Yeah, he is getting a bit low, so it is a tiny bit scary if he messes up the dash on the guards, but should be okay.
And there's our lamp, and there's our moon pearl.
Yeah. Still not out of the woods yet from AGA, but it is looking very AGA with all those items.
Yeah, so AGA 1 has a heightened chance to be required in casual boots. Boogie, please do the rest of this seed with more than half a heart. Okay. But yeah, so there's a higher incidence of AGA 1 required because you do start with a sword and the boots, which are 2 of the pieces for Lumberjack Ledge specifically. Now we know there's nothing there, but there is a heightened chance that something can be there because of our starting items.
Yeah. And Eclectic is 3 rupees short from the merchant, but I assume he's just gonna come back and pick it up later. Oh, he's actually gonna farm the rupees for it. Okay.
Yeah, that's probably fine. You know, you're at 97. You know the blues are gonna respawn here. You might as well just take the time to get the merchant now rather than having to come back at some point. And it's just $5.
Yep, he just got scammed.
Yeah, everybody talks about the scam fish. They never talk about the merchant scam, right in the middle of town even.
Right in front of everybody, just scamming for all the money. Okay, mitts or gloves.
Yeah, Power Glove. So because we already did the escape sequence, Power Glove doesn't really lock a whole lot. Okay, well we have red and blue pendants. I think that's a blue pendant. At
Yes.
I don't see a sparkle on it, so
It is a blue pendant.
yes, but at Eastern and Desert Palace. So actually, we can. This is pretty rare. We can actually just go to Sahasrahla and ask him what the green pendant is, and he'll tell us, and then we have all three.
Yeah. He also picked up flippers. In the tavern, I think, is where he picked them up.
Yeah, so we will see those on Boogie's side here in just a moment. So yeah, the flippers open up a good bit. There are a few checks that we like to go to. We don't necessarily always have the flippers when we check those, but this time we will.
Yeah, so because he got flippers early, so since you're a mentor and you have a lot more experience, if you had to decide, because he doesn't have 500 rupees yet to pick up Zora when he goes there with flippers, would you just go Ice Rod and escape quit, go Saha, I guess, or would you still go and take the gamble and just leave Zora alone, like still go to Waterfall Cave?
Because it's only 8 rupees, like I may have actually just gone to the dam to look for money and maybe Saha to look for money. It is pretty common, as you saw right there on Eclectic's side. It is pretty common to find those 300 drops of rupees, because they're excluded from being in what's called the Ganon's Tower junk fill. So we do see those a little bit more often than we did before. And I don't know, you usually do get at least one of them before going to Zora, but like because you already had 8, I don't think you need to do any like fancy rupee things. You're just assuming that you're leaving Zora behind at this point.
Right. Did he do dam or did he skip it? I actually missed that.
He skipped it. I think
Okay.
he's so one of the things that some runners like to do is split South Shore into Dam plus Agina and oh, okay, well there's a 300 in the dam. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, some people like to split Dam and Agina and Mini Moldorm and Ice Rod Cave into their 2 like separate areas there. So just so that nothing gets isolated and you always have a reason to go back for everything.
Right. We did see Eclectic do a glitch called Water Walk from outside of Ice Rod Cave so he was able to dash in the water, which let him get to Hobo very quickly.
Oh, okay. If he's loaded like that, like why is he living under a bridge, man? Yeah, hard bailed out there. All right, I guess we're going to Zora.
Yeah,
So
it looked like he had a little bit of discussion with his mentor on what to do.
So it looked like the initial plan was probably just go to Hobo and then save and quit, because there's not really. I mean, there is. I don't remember which one is. I don't remember if water walking or swimming is faster, but it was a good. It's a good point to save and quit because Hobo is kind of not really around anything else. So it's a really good point to save and quit and start a new route.
Yeah, and we had some divergence already where Boogeyman actually went to Agina's cave versus Mini Moldorm.
Yeah, so I believe what we're going to see now is Boogie's going to set up what's called a Houlihan. He's going to access what's called the Chris Houlihan room, named after someone who won a Nintendo Power contest back in 1990, I believe. So basically what happens is your camera is kind of unstable on the Sanctuary screen, and you're doing something that the game doesn't expect. You're blasting yourself into that gravestone, so it puts you in I say it's essentially the default location for I don't know where to put you, so here you go. Here's a room with 225 rupees.
Yeah, I did not know you could do that. That's a very cool and interesting trick. First time I've seen that.
Yeah,
Does it,
and of course, every time you Houlihan, you find the 300 in Mini Moldarm Cave, as Boogie is about to do. But you know, it's good to just have it in hand rather than relying on something like that.
yeah, and now Eclectic finding the mirror in Mini Moldarm makes him not having to take 2 screen transitions in Dam. Just a very minor time save.
So it looks like Eclectic wants to clean up that Agina check as well. Yeah, I'd be interested to see like how much Aga 1 is being discussed at this point.
Yeah, because
Also getting a spy on Desert Ledge.
yeah,
Oh.
blue mail, nice safety item. Unfortunate death on Boogeyman's side.
And Boogie, your face is not a shield.
So I think the last like actual checks is the Death Mountain check. So it's either go there or do Aga. So it depends on how much you want to gamble there.
I don't believe we've seen the back of Sahasrara yet, which
Okay.
which would definitely be something that I would do before Aga 1, but I don't think I'm interested in Eastern Palace personally.
Yeah, especially because it's a pendant dungeon too.
Yeah, nothing's ever in Pendant Eastern, especially not in your week 2 race.
Yeah, where 2 progression items were there, which was very unfortunate.
We are going up the mountain. I mean, there's a clearable crystal dungeon up there, so you know you might as well maybe find a hammer or a hook shot up there to extend your stay. Hammer would also be Dark World access, so we could potentially skip Aga 1 that way.
Right. And Hera has how many items?
So Hera has 2, but you get 1 from the Old Man and 1 from Spectacle Rock Cave and 1 from Spectacle Rock itself. So there's actually going to be 5 items on this path.
Right. That's pretty good amount of checks. So definitely has a possibility of finding Dark World access either through Hammer or through Mitts.
Well, you also kind of get we can count it as like half a check, I guess, because that you get a new save and quit point when you save the Old Man, which
Flute
paired with that flute right there is a very powerful starting point for saving quits, because when you give the Old Man some kisses, he fills your health.
Yeah. We're gonna see if he's gonna do. I assume he's gonna do the bomb jump. I wonder if he's gonna do the torch lineup setup, or if he's gonna do. Okay, looks like he's going for the sword lineup.
Yeah, so there is some normalized movement that you can do with the torches in this room, but some people like the old school strats. Boogie getting that fillet off of the Zora ledge. I'm sure Gamma just smiled and he doesn't know why.
Well, he'll have some fairies in the bottle, which could definitely come in handy for certain checks like Spike Cave, and just in general, fairy in a bottle is always good to have.
Because we have the mirror, I would agree. Yes, fairy in a bottle is a nice backup to have, but if you don't have a mirror, then it can really get annoying when you want to death warp to the beginning of a dungeon.
Looks
so,
like
Zeph, why are some of those crystals blue and why are some of them red?
That's a great question. Let me answer that for you. So the 2 red crystals unlocks another check called Pyramid Fairy, where you buy a big bomb in Link's house, and then you have to carry that big bomb all the way to the pyramid in the Dark World, and it opens up 2 checks and lets you possibly get your bottle filled with something at the ferry also, if you're so inclined.
Do you remember what's in there in the vanilla game?
Joke's on you. I've never played this casually, so I have no idea.
Ah, okay. Well, it's the gold sword upgrade and the silver arrows in the vanilla game.
Yeah, so that's definitely pretty nice for casual players then. Looks like Eclectic is doing. What do you call this? A glitch?
It's not a glitch. It's intended behavior. You're intended to have iframes when you stand on flaps, so that if you do get stuck on them, you're not just stuck forever. But we call this strat the coffee break, because you just put down the controller, wait 42 seconds for the tiles to disappear, and then go about your business.
Yeah. And Boogeyman is about to pick up his flute. We're gonna see if he's gonna be able to hit the bomb jump. He's also doing the sword setup.
Oh, that was a quick setup.
That was very quick. Nice.
Yeah, you saw Eclectic kind of strafe back and forth a few times, but Boogie got it right away.
Yeah, that was very clean setup.
Yes, our restreamer Phoenix mentioning in chat that in the original game the 5 and 6 crystals are not red. We just do that in randomizer to show you, to make it more obvious which ones are needed to unlock the big bomb. Otherwise, we would have to go into the bomb shop a million times to see if it got unlocked yet.
Actually, didn't know that. That's a cool little like fun fact.
Well, actually, we wouldn't have to go a million times, because if you talk to the vendor that sells the big bomb, then he will tell you which 2 crystals you need.
Oh wow, I actually didn't know that either.
Yeah, that's useful for key sanity modes when the crystals aren't on the map right away.
Okay. You may have noticed that the runners are charging their sword for a spin when they're setting up a bomb jump, and this allows the players to get their sprite right on the edge of a pit. Is it 1 pixel away from falling in to set up a perfect bomb jump?
Yep. Well, you need to be on that pixel to do a bomb jump. Unless you bonk off the wall, then that pixel window increases to 7. But no one, I don't really see anyone do that anymore, except for some of the more old school runners. Yes, you can also set up on a pit if you do an item dash. So if you say hammer dash, net dash, fire rod would work. I'm just looking at what we currently have. All right, and a nice Moldorm kill there. Full 1 heart fight. Had the cape equipped, but didn't end up using it at all. So good job by Eclectic. That boss is very difficult and annoying.
Yeah, just bumping around everywhere. It looks like both runners also decided to go up Death Mountain instead of doing Aga 1. I don't think either have done Sahasrahla or dipped into Eastern, so they both made a decision to go Death Mountain.
No, so neither one have been to Sahasrahla or Eastern. They both went to Death Mountain, and that's mainly because they know that there's a fully clearable crystal dungeon up here. So you need crystals to complete the game. When you see a clearable crystal dungeon, you should probably just go do it.
Looks like Eclectic is activating his flute in Kakariko, and then Boogeyman is heading up to fight Moldorm.
Yeah, I'm wondering where Eclectic is going to go with this flute, because there's really only 2 places left.
Yeah, it either has to be Aga or Sahasrahla, right?
Right, and our bottle came from Mini Moldorm Cave, so we didn't get to check the sick kid or lazy kid, depending on which runner you happen to be. So we didn't get to check that the first time we were in Kakariko. The flute gives us an excuse to go back for it, so that's really nice.
Whoa, he's bouncing around in that corner.
Yeah, have you ever done this? The
Go ahead.
So you hold your sword out. You hold your sword out, and then you hold away from the pit, and you can't fall, but Moldurm is still trying to push you backwards. So yeah, that's a good beginner strat for this boss, as we find the hammer in Sahasrahla's hut. So looks like Aga 1 has been defeated without even setting foot in Castle Tower.
Yep. Oh, I really thought he was going to dip into pod because he was already there, but this makes sense too.
Oh, the pod portal was right beside a flute spot, so I think Eclectic is just making a density play. Usually, like once you get access to Paradox Cave, you should probably make your way there pretty quickly.
Yeah, it makes sense. He also avoided getting the piece of heart on Spec Rock Ledge. Oh, decided to get it this time though.
Yeah, and I mean you do need a good health pool reserve, and like one heart at this point in the game, one heart could be the difference between like you finishing a fight and you dying and having to go back. So I always tell people to pick up health until you're at about the 12 to 13 heart mark, and then from there you'll just accidentally get more heart pieces from blind checks.
If you had like blue or red mail, would you even decide to go lower on your total health pool?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like if I want somewhere around 14 hearts on green mail. Oh no, Boogie. Oh no, he's gonna do Aga 1.
Fortunate.
All right, well, we run into this every so often. One runner will do an unfortunate Aga 1 clear, so gonna lose somewhere in the 3 to 3.5 minute range for doing an unnecessary dungeon with no items to show for it, but that is surprisingly very recoverable in Rando. So like one item location can just completely tip the scales.
Yeah. Eclectic does have all 3 emblems now, so he's not gonna have to scout Mire or Turtle Rock to see what's needed.
Outer there in Paradox Cave. And you're probably headed back toward Kakariko at some point anyway, so because we have 2 fully clearable crystals over there.
Yep, and he decides to go Kak.
Yeah, looks like Eclectic agrees.
Now, if you were in this position, would you tell Eclectic to go into Village of Outcasts, or would you tell him to go into Skullwoods?
I would tell him that he can't lift the Dark Rocks yet because he does not have the Titan's Mitts. But after that, it really depends on the runner and what they feel more comfortable with. Because Eclectic has a blue potion in hand, I would probably push for a back to front Skullwoods clear, and then follow that with Village of Outcasts and just kind of slowly make your way toward Hype Cave. Which looks like what we're maybe trying to do. Doing this front to back is also probably fine. You would just have to save and quit and come back through the portal to do Thieves Town. But the reason to do it back to front is so you don't have to do that save and quit. And we have the blue potion, so we have the safety item to make it viable.
Yeah, definitely.
We have a fairy pack too.
Fairy pack
So
on the
that's-
berries.
Yeah, so that's gonna be. I don't know if they keep track of prize packs, but because the berries are dropping fairies, that means that the Zazax and the Stalfos on the GT climb will also drop that stuff. So if they're paying attention to that may cause them to just go upstairs instead of doing the recovery room, for instance, because they know like they're gonna get a fairy and a full magic out of it.
Right. And then prize packs work in like a rotation per enemy you kill, right?
So different enemies are grouped in different ways. So different enemies drop different prizes, but they drop in a predictable order. It's just a straight 50-50 chance that it will drop a prize, and it always drops the next prize in its prize pack. So if you saw the mummies just dropped a small magic and a rupee, and now if we kill this mummy, it has a 50% chance of dropping the next thing in the pack, which is a heart.
Right. He is taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, taking a bit of damage here. Oh, okay. I may have tried to hold on to that potion for a little bit longer because there is that heart pot over there. But a lot of times when you go for hearts that are under pots, you end up just taking a heart of damage anyway. So probably better to just blow the potion there. All right.
He's going full side around.
Aga 1 is dead. So the other thing that probably would have made me do Saha over Castle Tower is Boogie can't really go anywhere from here. He can either go to Catfish or he can go to Pod. But like you can't really access the west side of the Dark World, so you don't really have much of anywhere to go. And it's very rare that a seed is just going to force you into Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, and Eclectic took an unfortunate death to Mothula. That boss is definitely one of the harder bosses in my opinion. You're more fighting the room than the boss. So doing it on Green Mail and at 6 hearts and having to unfortunately use the blue potion to get there just makes that fight really, really hard.
Yeah, and Eclectic does not have enough magic to relight the torches to get back. So I believe this is. I believe he's just gonna go to Village of cut his losses, go to Village of Outcasts, and try and come back with some better equipment later on. And now we see the hammer on Boogie's side, and now that's a feels bad man.
Right, and if we were in this position, since you are my mentor for races, if we were in Boogeyman's and Wackerly's position, what would you be telling me if we did Aga and then found the hammer in Sahasrahla?
I would say some words that we're not allowed to say on GMP, and then I would say just push Pod because that was our plan from the start, and our opponent probably is not doing that. So I'm hoping for something impactful to come out of Pod at this point.
Right. He does have a potion, so he could do I don't know the exact what it's called, but the bottle glitch to skip the mimics.
Yes, so that would be the potion camera unlock glitch, which I believe he will be doing here because I've watched Boogie a little bit. He's his mentor Wackerly is a friend of mine, and Mr. Boogeyman is part of Wackerly's network, so I have watched him a little bit. He does know how to do the potion camera unlock. It's just, can you do it when you're on restream in front of however many viewers?
Yeah, and from experience, the nerves do get to you. I was very nervous during my race.
Okay, interesting. So this is an interesting play here from Boogie. Like, you're here in Eastern anyway. It's a pendant, sure, but you already know you cleared Aga 1 for nothing. So I kind of like this YOLO play. I may have wanted to do Pod first, But doing this first, looking for a bow, is probably a little better than doing pod looking for a bow.
Would you say because more of Eastern is clearable with the way logic works in the game, because most of pod is bow locked?
Most of pod can be bow locked, but it's not necessarily like if you get enough keys, then nothing's gonna be bow locked. And look at that. That's exactly what Boogie wanted to find there. The Titan's Myths and the Master Sword. So I if I'm Boogie, I'm out of here.
Yeah, those are two huge pickups. Also, I didn't see exactly where we got it, but we did get Kane of Samaria on the Eclectic side at some point.
We got that on the west side of Skull Woods. So Boogie will
Okay.
find that at some point. Now the big question is, when does Eclectic go for Pendant Eastern?
If I was Eclectic, if we were racing this and I was in Eclectic's position, I would be not inclined to do Eastern at all, especially with all the items I'm finding. That would definitely be on the last of my list, I think.
Well, you did die to Moth in Eclectic's position, so maybe you're looking to grab something impactful out of somewhere that you thought maybe your opponent hasn't been yet. So I could see him maybe making a play and trying to rip something important out of Eastern. He will get funneled there eventually.
Yeah, Ice Palace is a pendant, so, but you still need mitts for Meyer. Where else do you need
Still
mitts?
Yeah, you still need mitts for Turtle Rock also, and you also just need mitts to get to Ganon's Tower. So mitts are required in every seed.
Okay. I hate this conveyor belt room on Eclectic side. I take so much damage here.
We call this the Thieves Town Hellway because that's really what it is. It is hell. Those Gibos love to block your progress. Oh, okay. Yeah, so Boogie just finds the map, confirming that there is an item on Armos Knights, but he saves and quits, which I'm not sure I agree with that. You already opened pod, so might as well just go in.
Yeah, maybe he wasn't considering the potion camera unlock glitch. I definitely would have went back into pod because that, I mean, it's 6 checks. It's a lot of checks.
Well, there's 5 items, 5 non-dungeon items in the dungeon, but Helmasaur almost like a stupid amount of the time, one of them will be on Helmasaur. So if you go in there with only partial clearance, then you can only really expect to get 4 non-dungeon items out of it.
Right. Doesn't look like there's anything in Hype Cave. We're gonna see what the stun prize is. Just a heart.
Someone in chat saying Boogeyman might have used his potion in Castle Tower. So if that's the case, I mean, I'd probably still go into pod and just confirm how much of it is bow locked, if it is indeed bow locked. Because you went through the trouble of opening it already, so you might as well just at least dip your toes in. And then if you want to do this Hype Cave left thing, then oh, we got the big key and shooter chest. Okay, I missed that.
Yeah, I also missed that.
Okay, so it's all bow locked. Okay, I'm more okay with just leaving pod then, because you know it's bow locked. There's a small chance that the intended second bow might be in pod, but you have 2 clearable crystals now. You have all of these checks down here in South Dark World. I'm good with leaving that then.
Yeah. On Eclectic side, looks like he's trying to do the script blind fight, taking the cape to make it a lot safer, which is smart. Might as well if you have the magic and the item. And he gets a pretty clean kill. But
Yeah, you
got
definitely
compass
want to
for
practice.
troubles.
You definitely want to practice this without safeties, but like when you're in a run, you really need to be aware of like what safeties do I have and what do they do in this upcoming fight / dungeon. And yeah, he also has the Cane of Burna, so Burna actually does damage to blind, so that maybe would have been a better item to use.
Does it count as like one of the sword hits with Burna?
Yes.
Oh wow, that's
So
very
the
nice
ring,
quality of life.
so the ring that Burna puts around you does fighter sword damage to most enemies. Most bosses are immune to it. Most bosses are immune to fighter sword damage altogether, but most bosses are immune to the Cane of Burna. But the way that the way that Blind's damage table works, she will take damage from things that do fighter sword damage, specifically swords.
Right. I do notice that I've been in this position before in a seed where you're really low equipment. I feel a bit better on Boogie's side with the Master Sword, but only having a fighter sword and still green mail and what is that, 8 hearts, I'd still not be feeling like the most comfortable on some bosses, but the hammer definitely helps.
We may know that Moth has nothing. Because I know we at least found the Cane of Samaria in Skullwoods, and if we found a second item, then that's just your last dungeon now. You're coming back with Tempered Sword, for sure.
I think they did. They found a red rupee as the second item in
Okay.
Skullwoods.
Yeah, so in my opinion, you already died to Moth once. I don't care how much health you have. I don't care how confident you are. You're coming back with extra equipment. You're making
Yeah.
sure you kill that Moth the second time. And if you find a book in the meantime, you can also just mirror after Moth and check the pedestal.
Yeah. They are avoiding a lot of hearts, I will say, which kudos to them because I would definitely not be doing that. I like my safeties.
Yeah, so hearts at this point, I don't consider safeties. I consider them like needed equipment. And yeah, you
Okay.
do accidentally end up getting maybe 10, 11 hearts per seed, but like especially when it's early on like this, like you really need to guarantee that you're going to have 10 or 11 hearts to end the seed, because you don't really want to drop into Ganon and you're just Oko for the whole fight.
Yeah. Also, just to explain, Oko is just one hit KO, I think is what that means.
Yeah. Yes, that means one hit KO.
They did scout blue mail at some point. I can't remember exactly where it was. It might have been Lake Hylia, but I do remember them seeing it at some point.
I remember them seeing that as well, and now I'm just blanking on where it was. Maybe
That was
Bumper
Desert Ledge. That's
Desert
right.
Ledge. Okay. Well, I knew it was a ledge.
Yeah, I knew it was somewhere. I saw it.
F stands for effort, right? Oh, Boogie, no, do not take this path. This path is slow. So,
well, go ahead.
screen transitions are about 1.5 seconds each, and they really do add up. Like, you take 2 extra screen transitions there, that's 3 seconds that you can be moving at 4 pixels per frame, 60 frames per second. So, I mean, that's a lot of pixels that you can move without doing those screen transitions.
Yeah. And just to explain another trick we haven't talked about much yet, but you probably have seen the runners do a bunch, is if they're holding out their sword for a spin on stairs, and they release the spin and dash, I think it's within 1 frame of each other, they get this thing called a spin speed, and they move super fast on anything that's not a stair.
Yeah, so you have to hold the sword button, and then you have to quickly, within, like, on 1 frame you're holding the sword button, on the next frame you have to hold both the sword and dash buttons, and then on the next frame you have to let go of the sword button in order for that to work. And what that does is that locks Link's that overwrites Link's walking speed to Boot's speed. So instead of an average of 1.5 pixels per frame, he now moves at 4 pixels per frame.
And you might think it looks like you don't think the movement would change that much, but it is very hard to control. You're going super speed.
Yeah, you're really booking it. Like, you don't understand. Like, I've heard a lot of people play this game casually and be like, oh, well, why can't I just, like, dash in every direction. And I'm like, yeah, you don't actually want that because there is a way to do that. It's really difficult.
Yeah, and then there's also another way to set up the spin speed, but instead of with doing a sword spin, once they get the hook shot, you'll probably see them do a hook shot dash.
Yes, you use hookshot and dash on the same frame.
And then that'll give you the same like super speed off of stairs or ladders.
So Eclectic has found the magic powder somewhere. Did it in at the magic bat? Was it somewhere here in Thieves Town?
He got it kind of early. I remember you mentioning it. I can't remember exactly where it was. It was definitely... Oh, Paradox Cave.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, and Boogie has not been back to the mountain yet, which should probably be going there pretty quickly after he grabs these crystals.
Yeah. I feel like Eclectic is starting to like slowly run out of checks, and yeah, he's gonna dip pod EP now, I think.
Yeah, Eclectic. I think Eclectic saw that the progression he was getting was drying up and kind of just made a play for Spike Cave, and it just really did not work out. That would have been cool if it was something. And like when you see progression like that drying up, it like you start to think, oh, what if I'm behind? Oh, I hope Boogie has a fairy.
He does have a fairy. He
Okay.
did pick one up.
Yeah, so when the progression dries up, you kind of start thinking in the back of your head like, okay, what did I leave and where is it, right? Because like you're supposed to be getting progression items, and everything over here was just completely dry. So like now you have to think like, oh, I might need to make a play, and if something is here, it's a location that people like to skip. So kind of a race meta thing, I guess.
Yeah, and he's gonna see that this is bow locked, and now it's gonna be if he decides to dip into EP, which, oh, okay. Does he have
Like
a potion?
Yes, he has a red potion. He just did a start menu.
Okay, so he is gonna do the potion camera unlock glitch to deal with the mimics that are usually that you need the bow to deal with. So the way, oh, he did it with the fairy. So the way this glitch works.
That's not the right way to do it with the fairy.
Okay. Did he use a green? Oh no.
If you use a fairy, you have to. It has to be a fairy revive, and you have to be walking to the right, not to the left.
What was this? I've never seen this like bomb.
So he bombed himself so that because the fairy, he accidentally released the fairy, and that filled his health. So he needs to not have full health in order to be able to use the red potion.
I see. Okay. Yeah. So as you can see, the potion. I don't know. Sean can probably explain it, but something happens with the camera when you do the potion unlock, and the mimics are able to walk off screen, and that triggers the door that is usually opens after defeating the mimics. Oh, there's the bow.
There's that bow locked bow that we wanted a million years ago.
And once the mimics are off screen, the game will think that the mimics are dead, so it unlocks the door. Is how I assume it works, right?
Yes, that's exactly how it works. And like potions do really weird things in this game, not just in scrolling camera rooms, but so basically what's happening is the camera is scrolling because Link is walking and it wants to maintain focus on Link, but it's getting a contradictory order to stop the camera because Link is drinking a potion. So it just stays in an unlocked state after that, and that's what allows you to manipulate the mimics like that. Now, if you go to the room boundary, then the mimics will the camera will relock, and then you won't have your camera unlocked and you can't drag the mimics off screen. So you have to be careful that you don't go too far to the left when you're doing that.
Yeah. And then it looked like Eclectic was debating on doing the hammer jump, but he decided to call it off.
Yeah, I mean, if you're comfortable with that, then this would be a situation to use it. But I'm like, especially for mentees, I would say just hold off on learning hammer jump for now, because it's very situational in when it saves time, and you kind of want to learn to do what you'll be doing most of the time.
It's like he went around to go for it.
Okay. Maybe he just wants a little practice.
Yeah.
That looks
So the
good
way
to me.
this works is you find the correct pixel on the flooring, you use a lineup, and then you place a bomb to the right of you, and you line up. There's specific lineups, but with the menu, you want to see three pixels of the bomb shadow, and then you stand on that pixel, and the bomb will push you into the railing where the big chest is, and then you're able to clip through it by holding up.
So you're able to clip into that pipe because your Link is going at a velocity that the game doesn't expect over those pits, because you're not supposed to be able to dash over pits, and you're like, when a pit is in the way, like Link's not supposed to be able to make it all the way over there. So you actually just clip a good amount of pixels into that pipe, and then all you have to do is kick yourself back in bounds after that.
Nice spin on Moth. Oh, another nice spin on Moth.
I'm not 100% sure that the second one counted, because Moth is programmed to not take damage from the spikes. Spikes usually do gold sword damage to enemies, but because you know, this is the whole gimmick of the room, Moth is programmed not to do that. So actually, in the vanilla game, if you have gold sword, you can't even damage Moth at all. Well, you can damage her with pokes, but you can't damage her with slashes or spins.
Yeah, very clean fight though.
Yeah, good job by Boogie to clutch that out on half a heart, or 1.5. I'm in NMG brain.
Very from personal experience, your blood or like your heart is pumping in those situations, especially if you don't have a fear in a bottle or anything.
Yeah, so one of the big challenges, like you said before, the real boss is the room, and that's kind of what makes Moth even more of a challenge there, is because she doesn't take damage when she goes against the spikes. So it's really annoying when you get a good slash in, but she bounces off the spikes and does one of the wonderful properties of this game called damage override. So if you do 2 instances of damage to something, and they're very close to each other, the game will accept only the latest instance of damage. So if you slash Moth, but then she runs into the spikes, it will accept that you did the spike damage, and which will then override your sword damage to 0.
Yeah, and that's just not fun at all to deal with. But there are a couple strats to make that fight a bit more scripted, especially if you have Tempered Sword. So there are ways to make the fight a bit more manageable than just dealing with the room.
And you see Eclectic has a sword out here. That would be to extend the hammer's hitbox. It extends the hammer's hitbox basically to the tip of the sword. It's a little shorter than that, but not by much. And hopefully we clutch this out. Oh boy, that's a lot of stuff on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
Very close.
Meanwhile, Boogie on 1-hit KO here. Not sure. Oh,
he's going for a heal.
We're gonna go kiss the priest.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in these runners' positions, whose position do you feel a bit better about? Because Eclectic still doesn't have the mitts yet. Because he full cleared pod. He's about to go into EP.
Yeah, so because Eclectic has the bow, like we know there has to be another bow out there somewhere, but it can be in a lot of really uncomfortable places like the back of a Volkswagen. So I kind of like Eclectic with the bow in hand better. It may lead to clearing Eastern Palace for that last item, but I wouldn't honestly, because that bow is out of logic.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. And how he's talking about out of logic because he got the bow in pod in a way that you weren't supposed to get it without the bow. That means that whatever item that you get from Armos Knights, logically, it shouldn't be something that's like, I'm starting to get lost in what I'm talking about, but like it shouldn't be a progression item, right? Because it's still bow locked.
Yes, so the game intends for that bow to be your silver arrows, but we use a system of progressive bows. So the first bow you find will always be a bow with wooden arrows, and then the second bow that's placed will always be the silver arrows.
Right. I did not see what if he got anything on Graveyard Ledge or things, but I think Graveyard Ledge was 50 rupees, and now he's gonna check Catfish.
Yeah,
Boogeyman is.
I believe Graveyard Ledge was dead, and yeah, Eclectic now headed to Mire, so we'll get our first spy of Mire. If I was in Boogie's position, I just killed Moth. I might kind of just say no to these North Dark World checks because they are very slow. They're not very good return on investment unless something like super impactful is there. I'm more interested in like in the Mitzlock stuff like the Mire area or Desert Palace or even Dark Death Mountain, even though you don't have a hook shot.
Right. Do you think the possibility of them skipping hearts was due to them scouting Blue Mail on Desert Ledge?
It's possible, especially in this tournament. Everybody kind of likes their safeties, so it's not too far out of the way to go get that Blue Mail. What I'm not sure about here is why we're not in Crystal Misery Mire and why we're in Pendant Desert.
Yeah, neither of them scouted. Oh, unless Boogeyman's about to scout right now. Eclectic doesn't need to scout it since he has every emblem, but Boogeyman might not. Okay, he has Bombo, so it doesn't matter. But he doesn't have Quake, so maybe Turtle Rock is locked behind that.
Yeah, and Boogie does have the Cane of Samaria, so if Turtle Rock is not Quake locked, well, okay, so Quake is in Paradox Cave. So even if Turtle Rock is Quake locked, you can actually get into that, and you can do a good bit of it. So
didn't we find Kane in Skull Woods? How does he not have a Cane? Or did I miss something?
He definitely got the Cane. That's just the tracker website bugging out a little bit. We'll refresh that here. He also has a Tempered Sword, but yeah, we will get those updated as soon as possible. And of course, thank you to our tracker TD Silent Pain.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if it was actually in Skullwood, so that's my bad on that. Hard to with a game with so many checks. It's so hard to remember exactly where you get items. Even when I'm running, I like have such a hard time remembering where I get items and to think about logic and things like that. It's very very mental stack heavy.
It really is. Like not only like a lot of like you said, you never played the vanilla game, uh, so you're actually just learning kind of two games at once here. You're learning A Link to the Past itself, and you're learning the how to solve the randomizer puzzle. So that's just a lot more of a mental load than someone like me who started with the speed run and like already knew half of that.
Yeah, it is a lot, but the mentors have been so friendly and helpful in so many different ways that it's definitely a lot easier to learn with someone who knows the game and teaches you versus like watching videos and trying to figure it out that way.
So chat saying because Boogie got the big key that he should kill Vidi first. I'm gonna slightly disagree with that. Boogie's still looking for a bow. I think it makes more sense on Eclectic's side because once Eclectic finds the hook shot, that starts the Ice Rod hunt. So I think it makes more sense for Eclectic to do this, but it makes more sense for Boogie to full clear the dungeon.
Um, we don't know yet, but let's say Ice Rod is in Mire and Eclectic is just cleaning it up. Would you full clear Mire? Because it only has 2 non-dungeon items, right?
I think you still full clear Mire. Ice Rod hunts are terrible and nobody likes them. Okay, so exciting things about to happen here. Oh, Eclectic, go up, go up, go up, go up. Okay, never mind. It worked. Okay, so what Eclectic is doing here is called spooky action at a distance. So if you cast the fire rod with, so we did a little bit of setup beforehand. You cast the fire rod. The fire rod has a little bit of what's called splash damage. So when it hits an object, it like splashes into one main flame and one tiny flame, and through sorcery basically we can set the variables in a way such that that splash damage actually wraps around the screen and hits the switch that's in that room from far away. It's a really cool trick.
Yeah, and looks like Eclectic is just using the cape to get a lot of free damage on the little eyeballs on the boss fight.
Yeah, so Boogie going back for cutscene chests. I always see people like say they hate doing this chest just because, you know, you have to sit through a 17-second cutscene for it, but honestly, like if you're in Mire and you're still looking for items, I would say probably just do cutscene. Like do it in an efficient way rather than like trying to get everything fast.
I personally like doing it just because like I'm already going left side to hit the switch, and so I might as well do it unless like with key logic you can figure out if there's a small key there, I think, and I think there's a way to figure that out. But I usually like doing it even though you have to sit through the cutscene.
Okay, so we did see our second item out of Mire there, which was the red rupee in cutscene. So I kind of know how Kirby routes, and I think Eclectic's gonna make that the last chest that he does. Unfortunately, so not gonna get very much time save from doing the dungeon this way, but. Honestly, if you kill Vid in Eclectic situation, if you kill Vidi and it's just holding the hook shot, I think you just leave. Well, actually, Ice Rod hunts are just so hard. You know, once you get the hook shot, you have all of Skull or all of Swamp to do, and then you have all of Turtle Rock that the thing can be in,
and Dark Death Mountain. Or you have Hookshot Cave, I guess. I don't think they did Super Bunny.
They did not. So Boogie hasn't been back to the mountain since the Heraclear, and Eclectic has been back to the mountain since then, but not since he got the mitts.
Yeah, and I think Paradox only had Powder and Quake. So I don't mind. I mean, it's like a gamble, of course, but I don't mind like hoarding all the checks over there, so you don't have to climb mountain as many times.
Right. So there's a question in chat that always comes up in every single restream. What about the pedestal? And if anybody doesn't know, the Master Sword pedestal is only obtainable once you get all 3 pendants. However, in Rando, it is not the Master Sword as it is in vanilla. It is a randomized item, and there are many more useless items than there are useful items in this game. So pedestal seeds are pretty rare. It's about 1.5% to roll a pedestal seed. But we can let's check the logic here. So right now we need Hookshot and Ice Rod to be in go. Boogie needs a bow, and there is still a logical bow out there for Eclectic. However, that cannot be on the pedestal because that will be required to get one of your pendants in Eastern Palace. So that cannot. So bow on pedestal cannot be a thing. Hookshot may be, depending on the key layout, Hookshot may be locking Ice Palace. So that's possible, but unlikely. And Ice Rod can just always be on pedestal if Turtle Rock is a crystal. So there's that. Yeah, there's that problem too, and that's why Ice Rod hunts are just so terrible, because the only thing that Ice Rod ever locks is the Trinex boss fight.
Yeah. It looks like both players are gonna clear desert. Which, oh, he's going to checkerboard cave first. I'd probably clear desert too since I'm here, because it's starting to get tough. Especially if the game plan for Boogie is to leave Paradox Cave for when he finds Hookshot. So he just has to climb the mountain once. But if it gets to the point where like he's not finding anything, then he might have to climb it twice, or he might feel like he has to climb it twice, even though we know Hookshot isn't there.
I think we're going for a Moth rematch on Eclectic side. Not a bad time to go for it. Oh, maybe not. Smith Chain?
I think so. Oh, he's gonna check bumper.
Oh, are we just going through the front? Oh, we're just doing North Dark World. Okay, so that's something that I was gonna ask is like when does Eclectic get to King's Tomb to get that Tempered Sword? Because that's like the biggest equipment upgrade in the entire game.
Yeah, Tempered is extremely nice in every fight. Matt, I feel pretty good on Mastered about everything, but Tempered is just super comfy.
And as we are about an hour and 7 minutes into this seed, don't forget to give our runners a follow. The links are in chat there, and their mentors as well. We have about 40 mentors here for all your mentorship needs, and they are all wonderful, amazing people. And thank you, Zeph, for doing this commentary thing with me, and of course, thank you to our tracker TD Silent Pain and our friendly neighborhood restreamer Phoenix.
Yeah, I've been having a great time so far. This has also been a pretty fun seed to watch, and both players are doing pretty good. Even though Boogeyman ended up doing Aga, I feel like he's doing a great job just slowly catching up in some ways.
Chat's saying fighter sword is like plastic cutlery. I think Blind would disagree with you there.
So it looks like there was nothing in desert.
Okay,
so it's just a pendant.
So we're going to Ice Palace on Eclectic side. What do you think about this play?
I like Ice Palace. Because you have Kane, you could do Icebreaker. You have Bombos if you don't like the Fire Rod strat for Cold Stare. The only chest I really hate in Ice Palace is Ice Tea because it's so out of the way. But I feel like the chance of an item being on Ice Tea is pretty low most of the time, or at least to me it feels low. So I don't mind this play. I like Ice Palace.
So let me give you a counterpoint though. We haven't seen Dark Death Mountain yet. We know we can, or Eclectic knows he can get into TR, and he can clear most of TR at this point.
True.
So you get Super Bunny Cave, you get the one check and Hookshot Cave, and then you get like four, or if you get lucky, you can get the fifth one out of Turtle Rock. I kind of like going Turtle Rock here.
Just to like play devil's advocate a little bit. I also like Devil's Rock, but the only thing I don't, or Turtle Rock don't, but the only thing I don't like about it is double dipping Turtle Rock feels awful, and especially I know the seed sometimes forces you to do Turtle Rock early depending on the items that you get, but double dipping Turtle Rock and then having to, if you end up not finding Hookshot there and then going to Swamp again in some way and just having to climb Death Mountain that many times and eventually get to Ganon Tower, it just feels really bad. So I like the Ice Palace play just a smidge more because of that, but Turtle Rock does have a lot of checks.
So, but Ice Palace only gives you 4 items, and yes, it requires another mountain climb, but Turtle Rock's going to give you 4 as well, but also it's going to give you 3 more outside of it.
That's true. So then I feel like at this point it's good to talk about when you choose item dense locations for item speed locations, right?
Right, and I would only think about speed when I'm like 1 from go mode, and if that 1 is not the Ice Rod. Just
Right.
because the Ice Rod can be in so many stupid locations. And that's not even 100% true. I'll probably prioritize quick checks even when I'm Ice Rod go.
Looks like he is checking Ice Tea. I was not following the key logic. I know he got Big Key and Pen Gator chest, but I missed all the other ones.
So if you got Big Key and Pen Gator chest, then that puts the big chest in play. Ice Tea is a piece of heart.
Well, he got Gold Sword and Freezor chests.
Okay, so if the big chest was not a small key, then that means that this is hookshot locked. If the big chest was a small key, then that means that this is not hookshot locked, and then hookshot can be on pedestal.
We did skip over the glitch because he did so quick, but he did end up doing Icebreaker. You saw it very quick where he put a Canis Mario block down, and then he pushed it upwards, and it let him push through the large like white pipe to the other side to get a chest. I don't know if you want to explain that in a bit more detail.
So it's called a door state extension. So the game thinks that you're in it, that the door extends for longer than it does, and it extends through the pipe. When you're in a door, Link is not allowed to move perpendicular to that door's direction. So this is an east-west door. So in that door, Link is not allowed to move north or south. So when you attempt to move north, it thinks you're in a door, so it moves you east, and it ignores the barrier because it doesn't expect the barrier to be there.
Great explanation. It looks like he's doing Cold Stare with Gold Sword. Cold Stare is one of the few bosses, if I recall, that actually gets slightly faster with Gold Sword, right?
Yeah, so a lot of bosses don't take more than tempered sword damage, or they do and they're on a timer. In the case of something like Vitreous, Vitreous is just on a timer for each of its cycles, so it really doesn't matter like how much damage you do. You still have to wait for that timer to run out, so it doesn't make it any faster.
Right. Boogie did check Super Bunny. I think it was just a piece of heart and 10 arrows, so it doesn't look like anything's there. Maybe in Hookshot Cave, the one that you can get with boots, the bonkable one, maybe Hookshot's in there.
Yeah, So this is one of the big gotchas in A Link to the Past randomizer is that chest that Boogie just got that can contain the hook shot as long as you have the Pegasus boots. It is in logic to bonk to places because it is considered developer intended because there's one room that you can only access by bonking like that. Oh no, Boogie, don't do Spike Cave.
Yeah, and it looks like Eclectic's
Boogie.
still avoiding Skullwoods. It looks like he's doing Smith Chain now. Okay, so he might go up to Skullwoods after this.
Boogie, you gotta do Turtle Rock there, bud. Yeah, and that's a good point from chat as well. Like, could have also just done it on the way up because you had to do this the slow way anyway because you don't have the hook shot. Oh, definitely don't die in Spike Cave. I don't recommend that.
I would definitely not go for that check now. I would definitely leave it and just go Turtle Rock.
Yeah, so you saw when Boogie died, he did not get the normal options of Link's House, Sanctuary, or Mountain Cave. That is because he has defeated Aga 1 and he has the mirror, and that is a thing in the vanilla game that it by default puts you on the pyramid when you do that. I believe in the English version it gives you a choice of Link's House or Pyramid, but this runs on the Japanese 1.0 version, so only Pyramid.
Yeah, so you have it's something I forget every time. So after you beat Aga 1, you have to make sure to mirror to the light world to be able to get one of those save and quit options. We also saw on Eclectic side do hammer pegs, and he did again, I don't know if it's considered a glitch or not, but he did an item dash with the hammer, which puts Link in a state where the game thinks that he's hitting with the item, so he's able to just dash through every peg without having to individually hit them. Oh, bow at Gary's lunchbox.
Oh, so that's
The
our
purple
logical
chest.
bow.
Yep.
All right, so when does Boogie get there, or when does Boogie break that bow out of the out of pod? This is probably going to be a trip for potions because he's out of magic right now. But like, I wonder if maybe he gets an extra one here and goes back to pod.
That purple chest with bow lock is, I'm gonna say it, awful. I would hate that.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely awful.
He didn't end up doing the glitch, but we might see it on Boogeyman's side where you could leave the purple chest in the dark world and then go to I don't know what you call him, like a vendor or something. But you could go there in the dark world without the chest, and then if you mirror into the light world next to him, the game will think that you still have the purple chest and it'll hand it into him.
Well, if that's Gary's lunchbox, then presumably the guy that you give it to is Gary, but the credits say that Gary is the old man on the mountain, so are they both Gary? Do we need
Garys.
Do we need some surnames to differentiate them?
Maybe it's Gary Senior's kid, so he's Gary Jr.
Oh, that makes sense. I'm sure he's very proud of his son who is a thief and learned how to pick locks from being a thief, and that's the only reason that he's able to open that boxing cannon. Okay, so
look,
Eclectic
go ahead.
going up the mountain. Boogie's making a spicy play here.
Yeah,
Boogie's
swamp
going
with
into
no hook shot. Yeah, that is rough. He does have the hammer, so he could do the first sequence of letting the water in. Usually everyone does the specky clip for that, I feel like is what I've seen. Just because it gets rid of not having to do the cutscene, but
Right,
this
but
is
you
a
need
good
hook shot for
gamble,
that.
I think.
Yeah, if you're not gonna go back up for TR, I think this is a decent gamble.
Because the only thing that could be here is Ice Rod, right? Or I guess book into a tablet for Ice Rod.
I mean, the hook shot can be here.
Oh, it would be in logic to find hookshot here?
Yes.
Oh,
It's
okay.
terrible, but it's possible. you can't get to the room beyond the big chest. So there's only what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only 5 chests that you can get to here, but one of them has to have the small key. So there's really only 4 that can be items here. So this is a spicy play here from Boogie.
I like it. I like it. It's they might feel like the death in the spike cave might, and then like I'm sure that once they found Hammer in Sashurala, I have such a hard time saying that.
What's his name?
Sashurala.
Perfect.
But finding the hammer there might have made them think like, oh, okay, so doing Ago is a waste. So they might feel behind in that regard. So they might think they might be able to make up some time by doing this instead.
Yeah, so we'll see. We've got our 2 options on the screen at the same time. We've got Turtle Rock on one side. We've got Swamp Palace on the other side.
Oh, he doesn't have this. Oh, is he locked now?
Yeah, because you just have to do this the vanilla way. You have to grab this key first.
Yeah.
Well, you can't. You don't dive her down because the water lever is behind that locked door. So you just have to run, grab this key, and take it back up around.
Yeah. I think I've done the vanilla way one time out of like the tens of seeds I've done, maybe 100 seeds at this point. Oh, there's hook shot.
There's our hook shot. So now we know that Boogie's play is not going to pay out, and that's going to be really bad. Oh, and we're just done in TR. Okay.
Let me pose a question to you now that they made the decision to leave TR. I don't mind leaving TR to check Hookshot Cave, but leaving TR entirely, how would you feel about the mirror save for TR to get back later? Like, I would fully check TR and then go to Swamp. Oh, you can't. Swamp requires a mirror, so you can't.
It's not on. Yeah, it's not really on the table for me, unfortunately. Yeah, so I mean, you need to climb the mountain again anyway. I don't hate this. Like, go get Hookshot Cave. See if you can like accidentally go mode Swamp. But then, yeah, just go into your dungeon. If Ice Rod is in TR at that point, then you know it's in TR. You have to go that way anyway.
Yeah, that's fair. And that's why you're the mentor and I'm the mentee.
Well, I think that more comes down to when we both started playing, but sure. For now, we can say that.
So if he doesn't find anything back here, then it's looking really bad on Boogeyman's side.
I mean, it's looking bad no matter what, but I mean, I've seen weird things happen. I've seen huge comebacks. Because I mean, on Eclectic's side, he might not even be interested in left side swamp. So if the Ice Rod ends up in Swamp Palace big chest, Boogie's still in this.
Yeah, it is possible, but it has to be here. If it's not here, then it's looking really bad. Because then, what do you think the play is if it's not in Swamp Palace? He just has to go Turtle Rock, right?
So he still has Smith Chain and Ice Palace to do, which Eclectic has already done. And then if he does do Smith Chain and he finds that bow in purple chest, I think he just has to clear out the rest of Pod.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Pod just had the extra bow, right?
Yes. So Pod had the bow-locked bow, which has really rocketed Eclectic out to a pretty substantial lead at this point. But it's really all going to come down to where this Ice Rod ends up. And Eclectic has just cleared a lot more than Boogie at this point.
Yeah, and we just saw Eclectic do a very fast specky clip where instead of getting the key, I don't know what to call, like the little alleyway canal, you climb up the ladder and you put a bomb into the railing and then line yourself up with the left side of the pipe or railing and the bottom of it, and then as the bomb explodes, it has the same properties as hammer jump, where it pushes you into a spot in the pipe or railing, and then you hook shot to the statue, because you can hook shot statues, and then it lets you clip through.
Yeah, so the reason that you have to clip into that pipe and you can't just hook shot the statue normally is that there's a collision indicator on the pipe normally, but when you bomb yourself into it, then you put yourself past that, and your hook shot can extend to the statue.
Did Eclectic do the bottom of Swamp House? I don't know what that room's called, the like where you have to run all the way around.
That is the wraparound room. I don't remember him doing it, but I'm sure he did.
Yeah, I'm sure he did too. So he did that.
The normal left side swamp skip route does the wraparound room.
Yeah.
Yes, chat's saying he did it. Okay.
Okay. So he's gonna do the boss. Not gonna find the big key here. I'm gonna assume if Ice Rod's not on the boss, then he's gonna go left side. Because I feel like at this point, you don't want to leave any checks behind, I think.
Okay. And that's the difference between runners, right? Like some runners just hate doing left side swamp. They hate that it's only 2 checks for about a minute and 20, minute and 30 time investment. And some runners are like you. They don't want to leave a check behind because Ice Rod could be any one of them. So that's just a question that you have to ask yourself. Like, if I skip left side swamp here, I am never coming back. Am I okay losing the game if my opponent does this and the item is there?
Right. So we're gonna see if he does it. We didn't talk about Diver Down because we were talking about other stuff, but if he does go left side swamp, we'll bring it up. And Boogeyman just found the hook shot on TR, so we're gonna see if he continues to go into TR. Okay, it looks like Eclectic's going back in for left side.
Did we ever turn in the green pendant from Ice?
We did. Eclectic did. I don't remember
Okay.
it being anything. Okay, looks like Boogeyman and his mentor had a little bit of discussion on what to do. Probably check Hookshot Cave, just like Eclectic did, which makes sense. It's very close, and you're at the start of Turtle Rock with the mirror.
And I think Wackerly is telling him like something that I was saying before, like, hey, we need to leave and we need to do swamp at this point because we have to reclimb the mountain no matter what. We have to. There's 3 checks in Hookshot Cave that we can get. There's no guarantee that Ice Rod is in here, and we can't save the portal to get back from Swamp Palace. So, like, that's just. Okay, so we're going back, but
I kind of like it, even though what you're saying is the smarter like play, like logically it makes the most sense, but again with like feeling behind and stuff, possibly due to the Aga 1 and the death and Spike, I kind of like the gamble here a little bit.
Yeah, and like he's also in a different situation than Eclectic, because Eclectic was just looking for Ice Rod, and Boogie's also looking for the logical bow. And every chest in TR up until the Trinex item is in logic, so it does make sense to maybe stick around and look for bow here.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I did talk about Diver Down, and then I totally missed him doing it again. But just to quickly explain it, because I'm sure he did it. Oh, red mail. Okay. Just to quickly explain it, you can at the part where there's water in the ladder, vanilla, you saw Boogeyman do it, where he goes around the bottom door, gets the key under the pot, and then goes back up, and then triggers a cutscene for the water. You can do a trick called Diver Down with either a Cane of Samaria or a bomb, and it's the same thing where the velocity with the bomb will push you into the railing and allow you to clip up, and then with the cane, I don't know exactly how that one works, so I will let you know the explanation.
So both involve a rail clip. and the rail clip, when you're clipped into the railing and then you jump down, you jump down onto a different layer. Uh, so on that layer, the water does not exist. Unfortunately, on that layer, you also cannot access the ladders that allow you to get back to the top layer. So that only really works for those two spots, but you can't use Diver Down to get into Swamp.
Me saying correct, like I know what I'm talking about, but I'm just gonna agree. Looks like Eclectic's gonna go clean up Skullwoods now, get the Mothula kill now that he has Gold Sword and Red Mail, and then we're gonna
you're
see
not
the
gonna
laser
get,
chest checks from Boogeyman.
not gonna get any more equipped than this. Yeah, I think if Ice Rod ends up on Laser Bridge, that's kind of bad for Boogie. He wants it to be on one of those tablets.
Yeah, I agree. I was gonna bring that up actually. If I had to pick a tablet, I would definitely pick Bombo's tablet because Eclectic already did Swamp, and Boogeyman still has to go back for Swamp. So if there's one tablet Ice Rod was on, I would definitely want it to be on that one.
Yeah, Bombo's tablet is really hard for Eclectic to get to at this point, so it's probably on the list of last locations. So I know Boogie did Catfish. Eclectic also did Catfish, right?
Yeah, they both did it. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. So you mentioned.
Oh, wow, nice.
Oh, wow. That was a
That
zero.
was a great
spike.
fight. Yeah.
That's like. Oh no, it was a 1 spike. Okay. Still, that's a really fast moth kill, and like you actually alluded to that strat earlier on when we saw Boogie do that fight with Master Sword. So yeah, good job by Eclectic pulling out the NMG strats.
Yeah, very. You taught me that strat, and I never stopped doing that strat. It is so nice to be able to script part of that.
I taught you that strat, and now you never get Tempered Sword for Moth, so I never get to see you do it.
But I am comfortable with Hammer, because Hammer is tempered sword damage, so it does make it a bit easier.
Yeah, you've been putting a lot of work in on everything basically, and yeah, it's a huge difference. I would say if you recorded your qualifier seeds, just go back and see like how much you've learned in just half of this Swiss stage, and remember there's another half of the Swiss plus brackets left.
Yeah, and I'm still planning on learning more. We're probably gonna end up talking about it when they get to Ganon, but learning the tempered 1-1 is definitely on the next on my list.
Yeah, and I would encourage all mentees to go back and look, like if you recorded your qualifier run, which was not required, but if you recorded your qualifier run, to just go back and see like just how much you've learned over the past 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, and also anyone who isn't a mentee, I would definitely encourage you to try out Randomizer. It's really fun, and then participating in this tournament has also been really fun. So I'm sure that even mentees and mentors, if you're brand new, I'm sure they'd be willing to answer questions, and the community here has been awesome so far. I have nothing but positive things to say about everyone here.
Yeah, so if you are interested in learning Link to the Past Randomizer, join the Go Mode Podcast Discord. Even if you're not part of this tournament, there we have plenty of people around willing to help out. This is an incredible community. This is my favorite tournament of the year. That's why I always go super hard for it. If you may recognize my username because I was actually on an episode of the Go Mode podcast, because I did so much restreaming last year, and I pretty much took all of the restreams for the Glitched Mentor tournament last year, or this past year. So yeah, I love the Metro tournament so much.
Yeah, and I thought about joining it in 2025 because I was like just dabbling into it, but I think I had like other things going on, so I didn't. But I'm definitely glad I joined this year for sure. Did we? Because we were talking, I actually didn't see if Boogeyman checked the Bombos tablet or not.
I don't think so, but it's probably a post swamp thing, which like he's still looking for 2 items, so saving it for after swamp is probably fine.
Yeah. Would you go do? Because he did Smith. I don't think he did Bat, and I don't remember if he did Hammer Pegs. So post Swamp, would you go Tablet and then do Smith Chain, or would you go do Smith Chain and then because you're gonna run Purple Chest anyways, you would do Tablet?
That's a good question. I would probably just do tablet. If I find something in here, I definitely just do tablet, just because of ease of access. Because at that point, you just want to do quick checks, and you're kind of just nearby. If you don't find anything, which we know Boogie won't, but if you don't find anything in here, then maybe it does make sense to just stay on your efficiency route, run the purple chest down. He also has mirror and flute, so he may just want to do Bombos tablet and then Smith, and then just use the mirror and flute.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think I agree with that. With the Mirror Flute, that just makes a lot more sense. Do Tablet now. So I'm pretty sure we did not find Ice Rod and Turtle Rock, so it is gonna be. I have a sneaky suspicion that it's probably gonna be the tablet where Ice Rod is because they are really running out of.
I also
running out
have
of
a
checks.
sneaking suspicion that it's one of those tablets, and I really hope it's Bombos because I'm not holding a controller right now.
Yeah. Because what else do they have left? It's really not that much.
Yeah, Eclectic has fully cleared Ice Palace and done the Green Pendant.
I guess Ped is possible.
Yeah, Pedestal is in Logic. Nobody read it because we didn't have the means to do so until now. Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens here.
I don't know if you noticed, but I'm gonna ask you because you might have to answer a question. I saw Boogeyman charge a spin slash as Argus, the boss, was like, you know how he like jumps up when he enters the phase where he has no puffs? Is it actually possible to hit a spin on his way up?
No, he's immune to damage when he's jumping up, but you are not immune to him even when you're standing above him. So even though like he's going, it looks like he's jumping up in the air. Because of the way the SNES works, he's not actually jumping up in the air. He's actually jumping cardinally upwards in a 2D direction. So,
Okay.
so yeah, don't stand above Argus when he's jumping upwards. And
No.
Bombos Tablet unfortunately has many explosions, but only 3 this time.
Yeah. Okay.
And
well, now we're hoping
about
for
to see
Ped.
Ether. We're about to see Ether Tablet here.
Yeah.
Come on,
Ped
see,
would
don't
be
let him off easy.
very fun. I'm hoping for Ped. I want to see more.
Oh, we do have an unchecked shovel. I think.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, it's on the It's on the Ether. Okay, so it's a required triple dip of Turtle Rock anyway,
Yeah.
but it keeps them on the mountain and it doesn't keep them. It doesn't make them do another climb. So Eclectic has hit go mode at about the 138 mark and still has a bit to go. Eclectic gets to save the portal here.
I didn't notice him doing
just
that.
doesn't know where to jump down. But yeah, there we go.
Oh wow. Okay.
Wow.
That saves a
Eclectic-
lot of time.
That saves a couple of minutes. Yeah, we were talking about it in chat earlier that the portal save saves about 2 minutes. Like you, otherwise, like Boogie has to go through the entire dungeon again.
Yeah, that's actually huge for Eclectic. That saves so much time. He's in a very commanding position. It's gonna be very, very hard for Boogeyman to come back.
Well, Boogeyman does have the purple chest in tow. So we'll get that first bow from the purple chest, and we'll probably clear out Pod here, and find that locked bow, and that's when the bottom drops out of your stomach, and you start being like, oh no, what if my opponent did this?
Yeah, that was a great Trinex kill, by the way. And to any mentees or new players who are unfamiliar, you might like during the fight. It was something I definitely like didn't understand initially, but when you destroy one of the snakeheads, one of the like ice or fire snakeheads, during the like death explosion, you actually can't quick swap or swap your on use item at all. So if you know the damage table, you actually want to quick swap on right before the final hit of the.
Yeah, so very quickly, Eclectic has 7 crystals and is headed to GT. So guess a number between 1 and 22. Where do you think the GT big key is going to end up?
Maybe 21. No tile room, but
I'm
give me
gonna say
21.
4. I'm gonna say 4. It's been mean. The seed's been mean the whole time, but it's kind of being kind at the end.
That's fair. I could get behind that. But it could just be mean the whole way through.
It could be. All right, and now once we say our first check, the big key guessing game has ended.
Yep. No
Okay,
small
so-
key in Hope Room, so.
Yeah, so Eclectic kind of forced into this thing. There's a lot of, especially mentees that I see, but there's a lot of people that just like to do the 2 Hope Room chests and not really care what's in them. They just immediately go left afterwards.
Yeah, me and you actually, and another mentor actually had a lot of discussion about GT routing recently because I was struggling on my decision on how I want to go about it, and obviously it comes down to like your preference and what rooms you find easiest. But I went from doing full left to going from Hope Room, and if there's a small key, to going towards Compass, and I find that to be the way it works for me.
Yeah, and there are several routes through GT that are all equally viable, and you never know like which route is the fastest until you actually find the big key, and by the time you have the big key in your hands, it doesn't matter anymore. The Compass chest is to the right side of Hope Room in the group of 4 chests there.
You see Eclectic trying to do the boomerang strat for the switches, which is pretty hard, but yeah, you could save a little bit of time instead of pulling out the can of Samaria and throw the boomerang in a specific way that lets you trigger the switches a bit faster. I actually like the red boom over the blue boom strats. I actually have a harder time with the blue boom strats.
Yeah, the blue boom is really tight if you don't use the start menu for it, which we use blue boom strats in NMG, but we don't have quick swap in NMG, so it doesn't really lose time for us. That was not an option because we just found the blue boom in Rando Room. So yeah, there are red boom strats that you can use that we use in 100%. Basically, the red boomerang, you hold diagonal down left out of the door, and then as soon as Link starts moving, you throw the boomerang down left, and then you just book it to the right, and it should hit the crystal switch. Should only hit the one crystal switch.
Alright, we're gonna see Ice Armos here. Just Armos nice with an ice floor, but Silveros is gonna make this a very easy fight. Nice.
All right, let's see. There's a small key there, and the big key right
key.
next to it. I hope somebody was counting because I don't have that many fingers.
Also was not counting.
Haiku says he wins. I agree. Haiku is a winner. Looks like it was 17, and actually looks like Hosley Ostros, one of our wonderful commentators that is putting in a lot of work, has won. So Haas, you win an infinite lifetime supply of A Link to the Past randomizer seeds, redeemable at your local alttpr.com, avianart.games, or wherever Body of Mudora goes.
We haven't really talked about it, but you could see during the 2 mimic rooms that if you double grab a wall, I think is how it works, is it allows you to move the mimics without actually moving Link himself.
So the double grab is just to make sure that your D-pad is neutral when you grab the wall. You don't actually need to double grab. You just have to have a neutral D-pad for 1 frame, and then grab the wall. But we won't. I will spend the rest of this restream talking about that strat if we keep sit on it. So
I know how you
we're in
feel about that
Gauntlet,
strat.
and
Oh,
boy, is Eclectic low on health.
Yeah, unfortunate. But he does have a fairy. Pick that up at some point, even though he doesn't have the net.
Yeah, just a random fairy in a bottle. Eclectic did get to bottle percent, and chat pointed it out at the time, but we were talking about other stuff.
Was that a spooky off this the Stalfos off the skull pot?
It may have been. So it's not necessarily the actual like spooky values. Spooky refers to using the variable to wrap the splash damage around the screen. That was just the splash damage. So when you go into G5 and you fire rod downwards, that the reason that you fire rod downwards is that even if the skeleton doesn't move directly into your line of fire, the splash damage will get him.
Yeah. Okay. I don't do that with fire rod, so I didn't know that, but that's interesting fact to know. I didn't know that. Also, for anyone who does, G5 just means Gauntlet 5, I think. Right?
Yeah.
I hope I'm right. Okay.
So from that big bridge with all the cannonballs, that once you go up the stairs there, that starts what we call the Gauntlet. And I'm just numbering all of the rooms. So Gauntlet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it goes to Land Mode 2. And then the first Wizrobe room, bridge room, second Wizrobe room, second bridge room, torches 1, cursed room, torches 2. So this room between torches 1 and 2 is cursed because it has been fixed for randomizer, but in the past it was not fixed. And there used to be a danger of something called jingle glitch. So if you go up the stairs on the same frame as the door closes from lighting the torches, you remove the sprites from GT, and then you are not able to progress after that. However, we have removed that because we deemed that it was not fun for that to exist in a randomizer where you're not expected to be able to perform any glitches.
Yeah. makes sense. So Boogeyman cleaned up. Helmasaur is gonna clean up EP now, or Armos Knights, and
Yeah,
Eclectic's
so
heading
what
into Aga 2.
so what's happening on Boogie's side, I think, is, you know, I'm at EP anyway. I'm pretty sure Boogie's making a ped play because he thinks that's his only out.
Oh, I totally forgot it was a pendant. Yeah, yeah, I think you're right.
And you know, I think he's not wrong in thinking that. Like there's been a lot that's gone wrong. He knows that his Aga 1 clear was unnecessary. Plus, like, he already had to go into Turtle Rock and came up dead on the Ice Rod. So it's not a bad play to just be like, okay, well, maybe this is the 1.5% of seeds, and like this is probably the only time when I can come back because my opponent is gonna waste a lot of time clearing the rest of the game. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him go like full go mode Ice Palace here.
Yeah. We also saw a great Aga 2 fight with the Agaometry is what people say sometimes, I think.
Agonometry, yes.
Agonometry. So now we're heading into the Ganon fight. I'm curious if he's gonna do the tempered 1/1. Oh, he has Gold Sword. What am I talking about?
Well, I always tell people, and I guess I can tell you now, even if you have Gold Sword, I would still practice tempered strats. Just because you're not always going to have Gold Sword, but the majority of the time you are going to have Tempered Sword. And even if you mess up the Tempered Sword strats when you have Gold Sword, it doesn't matter because you only need half of the number of hits anyway.
Right. Clean phase 1 and phase 2.
Okay, so Boogie is gonna skip Ice Palace and just go read the pedestal and see if he's actually on the right track. I guess that's fine. I think if you're gonna pull ped, you might as well just full commit, go pull ped.
Yeah, I agree, but yeah, I don't hate it either. But yeah, if you're already committed to the 2 dungeon clears, I would just get the 3rd one.
So we saw an Eclectic side. So normally, Ganon is supposed to freeze and turn blue like this whenever you slash him. But we saw that Eclectic did a slash, but it was during the 2-frame window when you can do silverless hits. So that was a very nice silverless slash. Also, get your GGs in chat for Eclectic, who is going to, I will say, handily win this race. But great showing by both of our runners here.
Yeah, it definitely could have. Like if Ice Rod was on ped, it still could have gone either way.
And Boogie about to get his Ice Rod and enter go mode here at 151. So we will. So, for any of the mentees watching, if you are on restream, don't worry about the restream. We are here until you finish your seed. So this year there is a new way of handling forfeits. If you finish your seed, the most amount of time difference that you can have versus your opponent is 15 minutes. However, if you forfeit your seed, then not only do you get that maximum 15 minutes, you also get an extra 15 tacked on. So please, please, please finish your seeds.
Yeah, you do not want a 30-minute penalty. And then finishing out the seed is just good habit too. You know, get practice every part of the game.
Yeah, it gets you practice in where I think most people could afford a lot of practice. Like in this case, it's Turtle Rock and like GT and Ganon.
Yeah, because you're every single seed you're clearing GT no matter what. So getting the practice in, especially under like restream conditions where maybe you're feeling a little bit more nervous because you're on restream, or even feeling a little bit more nervous during just a race, even not on stream. It's just good to be able to play under those more stressful or more nerve-wracking conditions.
there's a question in chat. What gave Eclectic the win? Was it the potion glitch in Pod? It was somewhat that, but Eclectic just got to be a lot more efficient because Boogie found out immediately that his Aga 1 clear was not required. So I think he was just trying to push quick checks and not necessarily efficient checks. Just to try and hit a route and try to come back from doing that, like I said, 3.5 or so minute non-required dungeon. So it's like every race, it's a mixture of things, but you know, I mean, Bookie hasn't played like awfully. Like he had a couple of hiccups, but like nothing that you wouldn't expect in an Enter tournament, in my opinion.
I think he played pretty well. But yeah, just doing the like I said at the beginning when we were talking about routing and stuff, just when do you decide to do Aga 1 versus doing out a little bit more checks? And then it just ended up working out for Eclectic in that instance.
Yeah, and I guess if he decides to do an interview, we can ask him like, was the plan to go into Eastern and just full clear the light world at that point before Aga 1, or was it was the plan like just to clear Saha and then do Aga?
Yeah. Also, this kind of reminds me of the week 2 seed where EP was a pendant, and even though like Saha is like a decent check, sometimes you want to combo Saha into Eastern, so maybe that kind of determined the more wanting to do Aga instead of dipping Saha and then like EP or whatever, because you kind of just like want to avoid pendant dungeons, I guess, is how most people go about it.
So you want to, but like you have to respect that, you know, pendant dungeons can still have progression items inside. So you want to delay pendant dungeons for sure, but you want to wait until they're your best play.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely something I'm learning a lot. Decision making and routing definitely have been like one of my weaker aspects of my game, so a lot of things to consider. Nice Trinex kill though by Boogie.
Yeah, that was a little sweaty there at the end, but yeah, Boogie cleared did a good job of cleaning it up. And I guess we'll see what GT route Boogie likes to take.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you call the like snake? Do you just call them snakeheads? The ones on the sides of Trinex?
Sure.
Okay, well he did the snakeheads pretty well. It was very clean.
Oh, what to call them? they have a name in Japanese. I don't speak Japanese.
Yeah. Just like the Hokey Pokey or whatever.
Hokuboku, yeah,
Yeah.
the actual name for the Pokies. And we are joined by our first place finisher, Eclectic. GG.
GG.
Jeez, man.
What a seed, huh?
Yeah.
That was interesting.
I had a couple questions for you about the seed and how you wanted to do your decision making. So it was getting pretty close. Like you had Cape, you know, a lot of signs were pointing to Aga, but you decided to dip into Saha and you found the hammer. What made you want to dip into Saha first?
You know, we were weighing that, and it's 3 checks, and we just want to try and finish that up because there was a lot of upside to it.
Yeah.
If we don't have to do Aga. So 3 checks, we went over, and it worked out. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously Aga was on our mind until that point. You know, there's pros and cons to rushing Dark World and not. But I think in this case, it just kind of worked out.
Yeah. And then there was a point where you actually got your first bow out of Logic.
Yes.
Well, so what was the thought process like once you got that bow? Because I think after that you did end up clearing Pod, and then I think you dipped into Eastern after that.
Yeah, it just seemed like, okay, well, we have this. We're here. We need to clear this. It was something that we kept in mind, as we are going through the rest. We're like trying to keep in mind, okay, what is currently locked behind bow and things like that. But, we found it and just decided to finish it and go on to what's next.
Okay. And my final question is for the ice rod hunt. We were talking about if it could be on Bombo's tablet, especially like after you did Swamp, you were probably like not wanting to go back to Bombo's tablet. Could have been Ped. What were the thoughts during that hunt?
I mean, when it came down to it, doing Ether tablet, it was the closest one to us. Like, yes, we could have fluted away, but the upside is if it is there, then we can just easily, hop back down. It's a lot more convoluted if you want to try and save your TR portal, going elsewhere, having to kill yourself and all that. But that just seemed like the highest upside, I guess.
Yeah.
Most convenient. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great portal save, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, we're glad we were able to do that.
Yeah.
Definitely saved time.
You have any questions, Sean?
No, I mean you pretty much covered what I had. I'm just watching Boogie here, try and find that big key. He's on the right path.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other bow came into logic. It was on purple chest, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct.
So. Yeah.
Did you remark on that, or did Kirby remark on that when you found it? Like wow, this is a gross first bow.
Yeah. I think Kirby said something during that. But yeah, Kirby's been great making it so that I can focus a bit on execution, even though I was a little bit clumsy. But yeah, we were more focused, I think, on looking at, like, thinking about, okay, where is Hookshot, where is Ice Rod? But, really we're just wanting progression. And silvers are cool, but yeah.
Yeah. So
Kirby,
did
silvers
Kirby
doesn't count as
explain-
progression.
Yeah, true. So did Kirby explain to you why the correct play was to leave Turtle Rock as soon as you found the hook shot there?
It came down to there were a lot of checks that made sense to do immediately that were right there, rather than digging deeper and hoping that it's on Laser Bridge.
Right, but even if it is on Laser Bridge, like you have to go down and clear swamp anyway. You're climbing the mountain again no matter what. So you might as well just grab those couple hookshot cave checks, and if it's in TR, then it's in TR. Like you're not losing a whole lot of ground that way.
Yeah, I think when it comes down to it, we mirrored. Hookshot Cave was right there, and there was a chance that we could find Ice Rod there and just take care of the rest of TR without having to climb back up. Yes, we have to climb for Ganon's Tower, but
Yeah, you would have had to climb for GT in that scenario.
yeah,
So you're always climbing the mountain again, and as Kirby just said in chat, you're already mirroring after the 2 fire rod lock chests anyway. So that's the kind of heads up play that separates like good runners and great runners.
Yeah, I'm really thankful for Kirby as a mentor. They've been really great, helping with lots of little details and guiding me while doing races. It's been really great. I'm learning a lot through Kirby and this tournament.
Yeah, and I think Kirby actually did the mentor tournament the same year that I did, 2022. think he went 5-1 in that tournament. I know it wasn't 6-0 because that was me, Teehee. But guess which one of us got bounced out first round of brackets. Yeah, he already came in pretty good at the game and just added to it, and was even part of the Glitch Mentor tournament that we had back in January ? I don't know. This year has been a blur so far. So definitely very knowledgeable, and if anybody has not checked out DDR Kirby's website of compiled strategies and timings and stuff, you should definitely do that. And Kirby, I know you're in chat, so go ahead and drop a link to that, or if you get Bop, just send it to me and I can drop it.
Yeah, I highly encourage looking at that website because I looked at it and it had a lot of great information. I did actually have an extra question for you. Do you feel did you get any nerves playing on Restream at all? Did that factor in at all?
Yeah, I think I had a little more nerves toward the beginning and a little more toward the end. I think that, like, for Escape, I felt really good about that. But then around the time Moth happened, I was feeling a bit nervous because of like just how much damage I'd taken going into that. And so I think a little bit of nerves came in there, and then a little bit toward the end. But I think for like 80% of it, it's like I'm focused on, thinking about what's next and executing. So just for me personally, once I get into that focus state, I'm less worried about that. It doesn't feel as like intense. But there are definitely moments when I'm in the middle of it where it's like, I know that I'm being watched right now, but it is what it is. You recover, and ultimately we're all here to learn. So just gotta keep that in mind.
Actually,
and I explain this like every single year to people, like people that are maybe down that they're losing a bunch of races, and I always tell them, like, that's not the point of Mentor Tournament. Like, the point of Mentor Tournament is learning these things and networking with people and figuring out how to get better, like giving yourself a boost to like give people to talk to figure out how to take that next step. And it's not about wins and losses, honestly. And if you think of it that way, I think you're missing a little bit of the point of what we're doing here.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, and personally, it's like, I think it's a lot of what you put into it is what you get out of it. So making sure that you're taking the time and taking what your mentor has told you and practicing that, and making sure that you can feel good about that when you get in your next race situation.
Yeah. I actually had one more question for you that I thought of before we get to this Ganon fight from Boogie. You made the choice to skip a lot of hearts, especially you were on Fighter Sword for a long time, you were on Grain Mail for a long time. What was the decision on skipping a lot of hearts?
Yeah, I think in retrospect, I could have picked up some more. We knew that Tunic was on Desert Ledge pretty early, so we knew that the chances of finding some other thing was pretty low. But I think it's just, in a lot of seeds, I've gotten used to just having more hearts at a specific time. And so I think in this case, it just kind of backfired. We looked around and didn't really find much. So yeah, that was just getting punished for not being greedy with those, I guess.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, Boogie's about to head into Ganon, so let's see how he closes out this seed now with the Ganon fight.
Yeah, and when you have a disaster like that, especially on Restream, that's like a good time to just pull up your practice list, highlight the thing you messed up, and put it straight to the top.
Yep, exactly.
So he is doing this fight with Tempered instead of Gold Sword because he never ended up picking it up in Ice Palace. So instead of 6 hits from Gold Sword, he's got to do 12 hits to get to the next phase.
Yeah,
Looking
good job
so far,
dodging
though.
there. Just has the cape out, but is trying not to use it, and I think that's the right approach to it. Oh baby, oh I
Love the
love
dash
it.
strats. Yep, me too.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I'm not cool enough for that. Not
It's
yet.
tough.
It's worth learning, I would say, when you're trying to shave down your Ganon time a little bit, because in any position in phase 2, you can do 12 dash pokes. You have the time to do it.
I also believe Boogie does an MG, if I remember correctly.
No, he only does randomizer.
Oh, okay.
So actually, his mentor Wackerly was mentored by an NMG runner, whose PB I just know inherently somehow because I'm a weirdo. It's because it's me. I mentored Wackerly when he was in this tournament in 2024? Question mark.
Ooh,
And
that was close.
I
Almost
guarantee
took it.
Wackerly taught him that.
Makes sense.
He was very close to getting face hug, but he realized, oh, he's out of arrows. Oh,
He is out of arrows, so now we get to see the rest of this silver list. Let's go.
yeah, a little mix of both strats.
Okay.
I think he had
Going-
2 silver hits, so
Yeah, going a little wide on these bat baits, but otherwise, like it seems effective, so why not?
I don't know if he has a potion or not, but I think he should
has
be
three.
good on magic.
He's got 3 blue goos. He's fine.
Okay.
He made a trip to the potion shop.
Oh, that's right.
I want to say right before going to TR the first time,
Yeah, you're right. I remember you mentioning
and
that.
he hasn't used any of those.
Good job inverting
Nice.
the controls there.
Yeah. Definitely scary when you get hit by Ganon's fire bat that it inverts your control so you can just easily run off.
I don't think we need to do these magic retention strats. Just use the fire rod.
Yeah, I mean, half
All right,
magic.
that's an
Oh,
exploding
nice.
pig. Get your GGs in chat for Mr.
Yep.
Boogeyman, who will cross the finish line second, but did put up a valiant fight today.
Yeah, it was a great race the entire way through.
All right,
Just
and
that
we
pesky
will-
ice rod.
Yeah, we will reach out to Mr. Boogeyman and see if he is interested in also doing an interview. Eclectic, you are welcome to stick around for that, or if you have other plans tonight, you are welcome to go and do those as well. And thank you everybody for watching, and we will await the interview.
I gotta say, watching the seed S+, playing the seed would probably be a C.
Glad it was fun to watch.
It was great. It was really fun to watch. I had a great time watching it. But bow on purple and then ice rod hunting. Oh, I would hate to play this seed.
I was nervous most of the time.
Well, put up a great performance. It was really fun to watch. A lot of things to talk about. Like you showed us a lot of things to talk about, so it was awesome.
Right.
I think we're just taking the time right now to figure out if Boogeyman wants to come in for an interview or not. Yeah, but like I said before, while we figure that out, to anyone who's not a mentee, even just casually playing Link to the Past Randomizer is just really fun. Being able to solve a puzzle. I never played the game casually. I just jumped straight into Randomizer and I was able to learn it through brute force. So there was a little bit of friction there, but overall it's really fun. Not too like long in terms of runs, especially as you get better. And the game might seem simple, like it's 2D, like you just swing your sword. There's not like in-depth mechanics, but it really gets in-depth and it is hard. Trying to do some of these bosses casually, especially on low equipment, was very hard. So, and yeah, like Kirby says in the chat, a lot of fast modes, casual boots definitely speeds it up a bit. I'm not well versed in all of the modes, but there's definitely some that are quicker. And then there's modes that, if you want a little bit more challenge, there's modes that make the game even harder with key sanity, where the keys get shuffled around everywhere, and things like that. So there's a little bit of difficulty in whatever way you want. And now we're joined by Boogeyman. GG,
Hello.
Boogeyman.
Thank you.
How are you feeling about that seed?
Well, I took a lot of safeties that I probably didn't need to. Going to Ag was probably not the best play.
Yeah, it was a bit unfortunate, especially right after you found Hammer in Saha. You were probably you and your mentor were like, oh man, that's awful.
Oh no. And then the glove too. I think we found very shortly after. Yeah, it was tough.
But I wouldn't have disagreed with that decision either, because you didn't have many checks left.
No.
And a lot of things were pointing to Aga.
It's scary when you get the cape really early on, and then the torch within the same breath. Like, I don't know. It's tough. Oh, it's loud? Okay, I'll turn it down. Don't worry. Saku, I got you.
But yeah, and then the ice rod hunt too. And then also the bow on purple chest. That is just an awful bow check.
Diabolical. Yeah, it was a tough seed, but I mean, you know, you can only make so many calls before you're like, all right, let's go into Turtle Rock.
Yeah, the Turtle Rock decision, it was tough. I try and minimize going to Turtle Rock as much as possible because I just don't want to climb the mountain as many times, but you would have had to climb it, I think, 3 times no matter what.
Yeah, I don't remember how many times I climbed it. I'll go back and count later.
Yeah, but you put up a great showing. It was a really close race. Even with the Daga one.
All of those climbs were basically required, except for if you do what Eclectic did and just like spike the ice rod on Ether Tablet, which I was really not expecting since the seed had been extremely mean from the outset.
I didn't know what to do. I was like, let's check bed, and if it's not there, I think that's, you know, justification to panic. And that's what we did.
I was really worried about Ped. That was a concern for like the last, I don't know, hour.
Did you ever go check it after you got the book for TR?
No, I never checked it.
Oh no. Okay, I checked it. It was just cash. I was like, no.
Yeah, we were talking about it on commentary where because Eclectic was in Turtle Rock and you were going to Swamp Palace, or like there's a chance that if you find it and on Bombo's tablet or on Ped, it gets real close at that point.
Right. Absolutely.
But overall, really fun to watch. You guys both played great. I enjoyed it a lot, so shout out to you guys.
Thank you. Absolutely. I knew going into it, it was very unlikely that I was going to win watching just Eclectic play. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is going to be a challenge. I don't come from like a Link to the Past randomizer. I'm a Ocarina of Time guy. I play more in the 3D. So this is a really fun tournament to like opportunity to get to do this in a competitive race setting. So it was a lot of fun.
For sure.
Yeah, GG's, man.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so no, go ahead.
I appreciate you guys all putting this on and commentating it, and teaching us and having fun.
Yeah,
It's all
once
about-
again, go ahead and follow our runners and our wonderful mentors, Eclectic and Mr. Boogeyman. We're the runners today. DDR Kirby and the Wackerly were our mentors, and of course, thank you again, Zeph, for coming in for your first comms. Are you sure that was your first time on commentary?
It was definitely my first time on commentary, but I had a lot of fun.
I think you're lying to us, but that's fine. We like to say lies on commentary. And of course, thank you to our tracker TD Silent Pain and to our restreamer Phoenix, who just started restreaming for us a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, thank you everybody. Anybody have any final thoughts for tonight?
I do. Shout out to the ALTTPR community. I recently joined it. Love everyone. If you even have a slight inclination of trying it out, please do. I encourage you. Everyone here is so friendly. And that's all I have to say.
All right. Well,
Agreed.
thank you everybody, and have a wonderful night. We're about to start a huge multi-world, so I am gonna go do that.
All right. Have a lot of fun. Thank you for letting me join. This is a lot of fun.